I guess you could call it, a take, an existential take, which is that despite this being cursed to die eventually, knowing that we're gonna die and not being able to do anything about it, and everything around us will die, and we can't stop it from happening. Despite that, nothing, there's nothing, everything about this can be embraced and appreciated. Nothing, such a film can do no wrong. So we can appreciate it, we can appreciate life, we can appreciate everything around us. It reminds me of the quote, I believe this is from Homer. I first heard it from in the film Troy, but I believe it actually comes from Homer, yeah, from the Iliad. And I believe it's Achilles who says it. Yeah. In the film, it's Achilles who says it anyway. But anyway, in the Iliad, he says, "We, you are more beautiful because you will die. We are more." I'm paraphrasing. We are more amazing because we will die. The gods envy us because we are mortal. You will never be lovelier than you are today. So Achilles says it to Perseus, I think her name is. I forgot her name. Yeah. But you will never be more lovelier than you are today. That because we are gonna die, it makes things much more meaningful. It makes things so it's actually taking uh it's taking the negative look at life because of its shortness or because not shortness, because of its finite nature, our mortality, and flipping it and instead looking at it in the way of because it will end, it has meaning and it is actually much more precious in the same way that because there is only so much gold in the world, for example. When you find a piece of gold, you appreciate it and you care about it because you only have one uh one child, say, or you only have one parent, say, your one mother, I mean, or one father, I mean, because you only have, one brother, one sister, or if you don't have any of those, because you only have one of you, because you yourself are one of one, and you will die eventually, and there will not be another person to replace you in terms of who you are and what you are, and in capturing your spirit and your essence, your unique essence. Because of all that, you are much more precious. You are incredibly, incredibly valuable, meaningful, precious because you are limited, basically. So it's taking a very tragic reality, stark reality, and then looking at it in a very powerfully inspiring and uh compassionate, loving, and also I would say true way. Yeah. I'd say true way. I'd say it's correct as well. Um, we don't know what happens after we die. Okay, no one knows. Ultimately, no one knows. So the people who say nothing happens, they're incorrect. Okay, people say nothing happens, they're incorrect because they can't make that claim fully. Also, the people who say you're gonna go to hell, I'd say thankfully they're also incorrect because obviously they can't make that claim yet. No one's been to hell and came back yet. So ultimately, we don't know yet what happens. We don't know. But what we do know, okay, is that the original source of our existence is infinity. And it doesn't matter if you take the, you know, uh, theological perspective, if you believe in God, or if you don't believe in God, it doesn't matter. So either the universe is itself infinite, or God created the universe and God is infinite. In any case, we have infinity at our origin, which means that we ourselves are in some sense children of infinity, which means that we ourselves are in some sense also, touched by infinity, or we are in some ways infinite, in some ways. At least in terms of our value, for sure, we have infinite value. But but what this encourages me to think, encourages, if you think about it, the optimistic view is that maybe death is not the end, and maybe our spirits or our energy or whatever it is that we're made up of, maybe that will live on in some kind of future, some type of further existence. Yeah. And what we do know for sure is the better of a person you are, and the more good that you do, the more you express your innate, unique talents, gifts, your innate, if you want to call it divinity, the God inside you, if you want to frame it that way, meaning the special thing about you, like that special human, special spark of infinity inside you that everyone has. The more you express that and the more you share that with the world, the more you stay alive beyond, your earthly existence, your physical existence. We know that to be true, yeah, for sure. And again, I've talked about this before, but just think about all the great writers in history. Think about all the great artists, musicians. Think about all the great, and even not just the great yet, but the ordinary people who contributed something. It could be something which is quote unquote small, but if they contributed it in some way, they are, even if they just had children, yeah, I'll make it even more simple. Even if they just had children, they didn't have to write no poetry or anything, but even if they just helped someone, yeah, they did something, yeah, in some way, their energy is still with us today, yeah, pretty much. Because energy is not created or destroyed, it's just changes its form. So it's a good thing to think about, yeah. So there's much more positive ways to think about life, and there's much more, and they're true too, yeah. It's not just like it's figment of your imagination or something. There are much better ways to think about life than nihilism. Nihilism's not a good philosophy, I would say. Um, so anyway, keep your chin up and stay positive, yeah. Appreciate yourself, appreciate your family, people around you, and all right.